Hello guys, this is Shivakkumar again, and today as a continuation of accelerated SAP methodology for SAP implementation, right? So in my first video, we have discussed about the phase one, that is, in general actually ASAP will have five different phases, right? First one, project preparation. Second one, we have blueprinting step. Third one, realization. So yesterday, actually I have posted the video related to this ASAP methodology, and it covers three phases, right? Project preparation, and then blueprint phase, and then realization phase. So in that actually we are doing realization phase, we are doing configuration, and then actually testing, transporting from the golden client. Whatever configuration done in golden client, we are transporting to say development testing client, right? Say 300. So we have transported and did unit testing. So we are doing say purchase order, PR creation, PO creation, GR posting with reference to the PO, and then invoice verification. And in case of SD, we are creating a sales order, and then creating a delivery with reference to the sales order, and then actually doing PGI, and then if shipment is required, we can post a shipment, and then actually we are creating a customer invoice. So these are the unit testing scenarios actually, say with respect to particular model. Say in case actually we are telling procure to pay process, and then actually in SD we are calling the sales order to customer invoice billing, so called billing document, that is called order to cash process. And in same case actually in a PP, actually once say the customer is placing an order, so actually it will go to say sales operation planning if it is a new material, and say the demand planning, master production scheduling for the high cost material, or a capital budget material. Say in case of a power plant, procuring a boiler, a turbine will be a capital, or I can say capex purchase. So it is a very high cost and done at only one time for the particular unit. So those can be planned. Now those materials, that is capital purchase budgeting related materials, can be procured using or planned using master production scheduling. And then for the low cost materials, say nut and bolts or spare parts, can be planned using the material requirement planning. So it depends on the material, and it again depends on the industry or a client. Say if it is a discretionary industry, definitely we have MRP, all these scenarios are there. And even in case of process manufacturing, we have a repetitive manufacturing kind of thing is there. So normally, not a process industry, say repetitive industry, right? So we have definitely a repetitive order, and everything will be created based on the requirement. And in process PPBI industry, so we have a process order created instead of a production order in case of discrete industry. Okay. And so after the required materials are once say for example, once MRP is run, right, the planning run is done in MD02 transaction. So either if the material is available in the warehouse, then the planned order is the planned order will be generated. And actually say if there is no material, then actually it will create a purchase requisition, and the purchase requisition will be sent to the purchasing department, and the purchasing department will actually they will create a purchase order with reference to the purchase requisition generated in the production MRP run, right? And then the purchase order will be sent to the vendor, and vendor once receive the order, he will acknowledge the purchase order, and in turn he will send deliver order confirmation, acknowledgement confirmation to the particular purchaser, and then actually he will prepare for the delivery. So then actually he will issue the stock or deliver the stock with reference to the in addition to the delivery challan. And in the receiving plant, actually those are the delivery challan is cross verified with the exact material sent by the supplier, and so it is posted with the goods receipt in MyGo transaction, and they will do invoice verification by so that actually the incoming vendor invoice will be settled right after invoice verification in Myro. So in Myro we are doing three-way matching, that is purchase order, then GR material document, and actually the vendor invoice. So if everything is matching, then they will post the invoice, and then actually logistic, the so-called logistic invoice verification, and then actually we can use automatic payment proposal or manual payment in FI, right, to supply to say actually to pay against a vendor or settle against a vendor. So this is an integration scenario. So there actually you can integrate the sales order received from the vendor or sales order placed by customer order, then PP, then for material checking, and once a material is received, the vendor will once receive material from the vendor, you will place in you will give to quality management for checking the incoming stock from the vendor. And actually normally in some cases actually the vendor batch number can be replaced by the your company's own batch number, right? So that happens at the one while posting the GR. So actually then we have the quality management in place. Once the quality management is checked and released, quality plan is checked and released in QA 32, you can place your received material in either a storage location in case of inventory management, or in case of warehouse management you will place in a particular bin. So the particular, again the bin depends, the placement of stock in a particular bin depends on a lot of factors. In warehouse management we have say storage type search, storage section search, and then storage bin type, then finally storage bin, right? Storage bin storage bin search. And if storage unit management is activated, then SU will SU check will be there, bin type will be there, then actually the storage unit, and then the dynamic quantity will be a quant. So that actually normally the quant will take the purchase order number if it is a inbound delivery, and if in case of outbound, then it will, the quant will be take the sales order number or a delivery number. That again depends on your configuration, whatever you are suggesting, right? And so actually this is an integrated system integration testing where SD, PP, QM, warehouse management, then production planning. So production planning, where it comes again actually after MRP run, we have once material is received, you are placing the stock for the vendor, and again you are issuing the raw material received from the vendor against a production order, right? So once a production manager approves the release a purchase order, production order, you will you need to issue the material, raw material, against a production order, and you are using the movement 261 there, and the material will be placed in the shop floor. And once the shop floor the material receives once the shop floor receives the material, raw material, they will start the production process. So actually the product manufacturing order or shop floor order will be started, and actually say then actually we need to define at what time we need to start the production process, and what is the operation in between the phases. What are the phases? That is so called routing, right? So which work centers the material is moved, say lathe machine or drilling machine or tapping machine or whatever machine, each location will be considered as a work center in a PP, and the collection of work center is nothing but a routing. So work center 1, work center 2, work center 3, and work center 4, then to the staging area. production staging area. So this collection of work centers can be defined in a routing. So it can be say operation 1, operation 2 or operation 3 kind of thing. So collection of work centers is nothing but a routing operation. So once a raw material, it can be converted in different phases and then converted as a finished goods as required, as requested by the customer or a end customer. It will be again sent to backflush to the either it is an automatic backflush or manual backflush, right? And then actually the finished product will be issued back to your warehouse or a storage location. If it is a warehouse activated location, then you will issue that to the finished good location by creating the TR, transfer requirement. The transfer requirement will be, once you issue the issue to a warehouse, actually goods issue will be posted. So then with reference to the goods issue, the material document will be posted, TR will be generated. From TR you can convert to transfer order and confirm in LT12. All these things happen, right? And then you are placing based on the material type, storage type, storage section, and bin storage bin, and storage type indicator, storage section indicator, bin type indicator. So all these things actually based on the strategy you are using, it will be placed in the final storage. Again, actually the system first will check the material. If any storage type or storage section is determined for the put away or picking, right? So based on that, material will be placed in the location. So material master detail will be in warehouse management view 1 will be considered as a priority, and warehouse 2 will show the palletization of data, okay, for respect to the material. So based on that, actually the material will be placed in the final final storage, from where actually you are issuing the material by creating the sales order, and then outbound delivery will be created with reference to the sales order. Then actually you will do picking, packing, then actually doing PGI, and then actually if it is the shipment is linked in via through transaction VT01N, actually you can post the shipment, and shipment will go some series of steps: shipment start, shipment process, shipment end, all these things. Actually you need to define the leg, transportation planning point, all these things actually. So then actually you need to create a shipment papers and everything, and then actually you will create a I can say either you can ship that material to the end customer, and then if LETRA is there, it will define the best route and everything. Either it is a sea car or sea freight, or a air freight or a land freight, everything can be determined in case of the LETRA transportation module. And then actually you are creating a customer billing or a customer invoice in VF01, sending to customer. Then actually he will receive that customer invoice as a vendor invoice, and he will do a Miro process, right? I have already explained. So this is the general integration testing we are doing in any ERP or supply chain management related. So supply chain is nothing but starts with the SD, already told, and then it goes with the PP, and then goes with if material check is there, it will again actually material is available, then warehouse will issue the material to the production process against a purchase order release. If not, if no material, then actually they will go for outsourcing, right, with the vendor. So once a material is issued, then again they will place the stock in the raw material storage, and then issue to production, and then they will convert to finished goods, and again that the finished goods manufactured will be placed in the finished goods warehouse, and then the finished goods warehouse will issue the material, issue the end product or the finished product as requested by the customer by raising a customer order, right? So you are delivering the material to the end customer, finished goods material. So what are the components involved here is O2C, and then PL2P, actually production manufacturing, production planning and execution, and material management, IM, purchasing IM, warehouse management LE, So LE comprises of three components, as already everybody know. We have LE warehouse management, LE shipment, and LE transportation management. These are important, and we have LE task and resource management is there, which monitors the task and resources actually within the warehouse, right? So that is a one another module, and it is a component of LE, right? So that LE TRM we are calling, and we have LE SHP shipping, LE WM is WM, and LE TRA is nothing but a transportation management. Okay, and so this comprises of integration testing. Once all the transport move to the quality after upon completion of unit testing successfully in a development testing client, so configurations can be moved to the quality, and the integration testing was performed, and in some client they are calling system integration testing, and then actually the users will do the we will train the user, and we will do the user acceptance test. Once the user confirms the user accepted test results, they will document it. Either they will give a sign off by in the directly in the document by using digital sign off, or through automatic project management tool called HPALM, all these things. And for even testing client, we have HP QC is there, HP quality center is there. All these things will have, and HP service desk. All this HP service desk is normally as a ticketing tool. HP QC is a quality center, which is a testing tool. Okay, and HPALM we have. So all these things will have will facilitate the automatic approval for the UAT acceptance by the business user, and then business manager, the IT vendor manager, and business lead. All these people will approve that. Once everything done, now the people will sit, so-called steering committee or stakeholders committee will sit together, and they will prepare for the fourth phase. So in that actually they will first plan for on which date we need to do technical cutover. Transporting all the changes from quality to production. So that on which date we need to do, they will decide that. Okay, and that is called actually in that technical cutover, normally they will transport the developments, configurations, and everything. So the consultants team, right, functional consultant will check the configuration, and related, if any Z fields to be maintained, they will do the Z field maintenance. So normally Z table maintenance and everything will be done either if they are having direct access actually in the to maintain in the pre-production or production system, they can able to maintain that. So required authorization will be given by the security team. Okay, and if say in some cases actually it can be transported through a configuration by creating the table entry in the development and transported to quality, and then pre-production. If pre-production server is there, is just as a pre-check before the production, right? So all the configuration and development, everything will be checked in the pre-production system, so called pre-prod. So then actually they will transport. Once everything is done, they will do transport to production finally. And in some cases directly they will transport from quality to I can say production environment. Okay, that depends on the client who is handling the project. Say in pharma, life science, or healthcare, they are having good revenue because they are handling medicines, right? So definitely they will have more cost to handle the SAP projects and everything. So they can introduce many server environments, say dev system, quality system, pre-production system, production system, like that. And in some or mid-scale industries, they have directly the development system, quality system, production system. And in some rare cases, they if it is very small industry, then normally they have a sandbox, and there actually they can test every unit testing and everything. Then they will move to quality environment, and then do system integration testing and UAT by receiving the UAT results, test results documented from the user, and then they will move to production. So it depends on the size and the budget the particular client is investing in a SAP project. If you are doing high level budgeting, then the project will have a highly efficient. If you are trying to do cost cutting, Based on that, the results will be there. I mean, it is a direct proposition, right? So that is an important thing. And the next is come. So during the technical cutover, we are checking the configuration from the functional side and the Z tables to be populated, and then actually if any interfaces to be partner, that is partners created in W20, W21, and whether the interfaces can be properly set through the VA or PO interfaces. All these things can be monitored, and then actually on particular date actually we will do actually a cutover activity. So the cutover will be planned before the business go live. So for technical go live, then actually the functional and technical consultant will validate that changes and configuration, customization, development, and then actually they will do cutover activity. In cutover, they will do master data upload. Say in case, actually we will do material master update, vendor master update, so purchase info record upload, and then actually the source is upload, and then actually open PRPO or GR or open invoices. If in case actually they already have a ERP system in place, or if it is new to SAP, then no problem. Actually there is no open PO or open GR or open PR. So they will upload direct. They will need to create after doing the master data upload. Okay, this is for and in case of WM, once the inventory stock has been uploaded, so normally through actually inventory, once the inventory stock is uploaded, then actually we need to do WM stock upload. So for WM stock upload, we need proper after the configuration or move to production, we need to create a bin master. Okay, either it is done through LSMW. So normally what are the migration tools in use in olden time? We have LSMW, BDC, batch data, all these things are having, and then we have, even we can create using BAPI, we can create the material master, and then we have a wind shuttle, which is very easy. But actually the problem is the wind shuttle company will charge per hour. They are having some high cost, so it is very difficult for some small companies to invest more on that. And nowadays in SAP S4 HANA presence, actually we have master data governance team, which is taking care of master data uploads, maintenance, changes, control, everything, right? So taken care by MDG team. So it is a separate team which is taking care of master data upload. Okay, so in case of we have seen this master data, and in case of SD, customer master data, and then actually whatever new sales related data to be created, or open, if any if already having sales SAP SD is there, if we are doing migrating, then we need to upload the open sales orders, open delivery, and open customer invoices, everything. Same like in PP we have production. Actually after master data, say BOM upload, then work center upload, then routing upload, then open purchase order upload. All these things are there, right? Actually what are the master data available in each module, we need to upload based on the requirement. And again depends on whether it is a new implementation. Greenfield implementation means we need to do all the master data creation from the scratch, and if it is a brownfield implementation, then actually we need to use the existing data, just we need to migrate to the new system. So there are two types of implementation, right? Greenfield is from scratch, new SAP implementation, and brownfield is already one. Actually we are going to extend that. Okay, so it's and we have migration projects, and then we have version upgrade projects. So in version upgrade there is no major challenge. Okay, so whatever thing, just we are updating the version. Say for example in cloud, every 3 months, once in 3 months they are updating the versions, 18.9, 18.11 kind of thing. Actually they are doing upgrade. And in case this is for cloud, and in case of on premise, actually once in a year, actually they will update the system version. Again, actually, it is with depends on the client, company, whether they are ready to invest more money in the project for the version upgrade or not. Okay, that is important. But best recommended thing actually for the cloud thing, we need to upload as per the SAP's recommendation, because SAP is pushing each and every update or enhancement through a cloud thing. And in on-premise means they will do in once a year. So to get a new functionality in SAP based on the business requirement, it definitely has to migrate. So that is a requirement. Actually, SAP is doing this version upgrade. We cannot do all the changes in one single shot. So it is done in a different phases, so called version upgrade. Okay. And so once a master data is uploaded, say actually the business will check for the posting period, and then FI posting. First they will check for the FI posting period in OB52, and then posting period in PV. We need to cross check with RV, and then asset accounting postings, posting periods, and then with the FI will check some GL account creation, and then say cost center creation, cost center group, GL group, and then actually controlling area activation. So lot of posts related to GR, GI, all these things, or material movements or inventory movement is related for integration with the SD, PP, say for doing production order release, then definitely the issue will happen, right? So then actually a material document will be generated, or for a case of actually we are doing GR, GI, GI issuing to production, so or issuing to sales order, then again so inventory movement is there. And so all these things actually require inventory movement activation, inventory posting period activation and everything. So definitely actually we need to check for the posting periods, and actually how the company code related settings, all these things to be maintained. And in case of old ECC, we have both actually material ledger concept is there for valuation, and valuation class thing also there. But in case of SAP S4HANA, SAP is recommending only the material ledger. There is no valuation class for material valuation, right? So that concept is not there in case of SAP S4HANA. Only material ledger concept is available for the material valuation in SAP S4HANA. That is important thing. So all this FI related data, related, SD related, PP related, and QM related, all this data, ABAP transaction, everything can be discussed on which date it is to be opened, and the old date, old period to be closed, everything. We have MMPI, which is having initialization, period initialization. Say for example, if it is set in by mistake, the particular user opens a previous future period, can be adjusted through in SU 01, SU 3. So user internal access, right, own data, you can initializing using this node. SAP is recommending the node. You can add that in the user profile data, and then you are allowed to change to current data, whatever the correct posting period we need to check, we can set that particular data. So everything now done, master data is then, configuration is verified, and development is verified, all the data, everything is in place. Now the business will, stakeholders committee or a steering committee, is a group of consultants, IT consultants, business leads, business user, and a global consulting team. Everybody will sit, and top management from both the IT vendor team, say for example Cognizant, then TCS, Wipro, IBM, and then Capgemini, Tech Mahindra, all these company guys, and then the client companies like Caterpillar, or say Murugappa groups of companies, or Cadbury, or Rio Tinto kind of mining companies, or say Pepsi, Coke, or Modus Link, or Gluber, whatever, Kevit kind of big clients. Actually all these committees will write, and the client deployment team, right, internal deployment team, IT team, everybody will sit together, and they will discuss on the particular date for particular moment of the business go live. All the business go live is nothing but the date on which user can the posting periods is completely open, all the master data in place, all configuration, everything in production. So user can start his first transaction. If in case of he can create a purchase requisition followed by purchase order, GR, everything he can do. In case of PP, they can create a planned order, everything, production order, everything, right, receipt and everything. In case of SD user, he can create a particular sales order followed by delivery and then customer billing or customer invoice creation, everything, right. They can start working on the fresh production system in particular date if it is a greenfield implementation. And whereas a brownfield or a migration or a upgrade project, they will do for a particular plant or something for to start a new transaction or a business process postings in the particular production system. Okay, and now actually comes the go live and support. So go live has happened, the business go live happened, first technical go live cut over and business go live happened, and business go live has happened now. And now it is a duty of the consulting team, IT consulting team, to support the business users. So when business user is creating a posting, they will normally get a lot of errors in the production system, right? Purchase order will there is no required purchase group is created, or any Z table entry is not maintained, or particular movement type is not activated or not created. They will get a posting errors. Particular period is not open, particular material is not created, particular material is not created in English language or a German language, whatever based on the region. And then they are unable to post outbound delivery, they are unable to post the inbound delivery. Particular vendor is not created, particular vendor or material master say view is particular, WM view is not created, or a particular WM view is not extended for the particular warehouse. So all these things, actually all these errors, right, basic errors will be fixed by or resolved by the IT team, so called actually warranty support or hypercare support. It depends on the client and the IT vendor company they are using the term, but warranty support or hypercare support all are same. That normally will have minimum of 1 month or 2 months. In some companies they will look for more than 3 months of hypercare or warranty support based on the complexity of the business process and the team they are managing. So if more transaction, definitely they need a IT team to fix all these issues, because actually if they are having a multiple company at a different location regions, definitely they need lot of people to support in addition to their deployment team. So normally a deployment team will get a KT during once quality to product, before quality to UAT everything done. Normally the IT team will give KT to the business business team, right? Business deployment team. In client place, actually the client business IT team is there. They will get a KT, or in sometime during UAT phase, before UAT they will get a KT, or sometime actually normally the support consultants from the particular deployment team in a client place, they will get a KT. And in addition, some clients will ask IT vendors saying, actually we need a support team from your company, so called post go live support, right? That is a application management services, the so called AMS services. Okay, and normally actually whatever the implementation team, so called development team or application development team, so we are calling, it depends again the project team or implementation team, it depends on the client and the IT vendor managing the projects. Okay, so the names will be different, but the activity is the same. So we need to coordinate with the business users and IT vendor, IT deployment team in the client. So all these three teams, IT vendor team, and then actually the client IT deployment team and business users will sit together and fix all the issues during warranty support or hypercare period. So and then everything is done, then actually we can they will decide on which team which ticket related to which module or which support team to get assigned, how they are approached, or whether they are approaching through phone or mobile or Microsoft Teams or Microsoft Link or through any other chat, right? So this can be done, and SLAs can be determined. Say if it is priority 1 or severity 1 ticket, it is having I mean the IT consulting team should I mean support team, AMS team should acknowledge within 1 hour and should be fixed with 3 to 4 hours. The issue should be fixed, which is stopping the entire business. That is, those issues can be taken as a priority 1 or severity 1. And some issues actually it is particular to particular region or particular area. Say in that case actually we need to create service severity 2 or P2 ticket, and that is to be acknowledged within 2 hours or 3 hours and should be fixed within some I can say 5 hours or minimum 7 hours within a day. And we have P3 ticket that is not hindering any business process, that PO say for particular user they cannot able to create due to some missing entries or user entry errors. So those things can be acknowledged within 3 hours or maximum 5 hours. So say in some cases actually night time actually the user will create the ticket, and the morning time this AMS team will acknowledge the ticket, and then they will they will start working on that. And P3 or S3 ticket normally actually 1 day to maximum, it depends on the client, IT industry and the client they are working, right? In pharma industry, because actually very consumer goods or pharma industry, life care medicals, right? Those things are very important, so they have fixed SLA. So you should be P3 should be the tickets will be fixed or closed within 1 day. Or if it is a manufacturing unit which is not hindering anything, then actually they can give some time, 3 to 4 days of time for fixing the ticket, right? And this client IT team will have one coordinator, so he will track all the SLAs and everything. So the particular AMS team in the client IT vendor team, if not fixing, they will send mail, they will do follow up with their manager, and then escalation, everything will happen. Those things will be taken in post go live support. So this is a general activity taken place in SAP ASAP implementation or ASAP methodology of project management. So I hope the details have given is very useful to each and every people. Thanks for watching my video. This is Shivakkumar signing off.